My dream about the Seventh Day Adventist Church. In 1994, I and my family were members of the Seventh Day Adventist Church in good standings. That was the year that God gave me a dream which turned my life upside down. At that time in my life, I was very active in the SDA church, and I was full of the Spirit and full of zeal for the Lord. My family and I had many friends in the church and loved them dearly. Our children were active in Pathfinders, and we attended camp meetings, cookouts, and other church functions, just like most other devoted SDAs. I am saying all of that just to let you know that when I received this dream, I had no idea what it meant. But in God's time, it was time for me to wake up. Here is my dream. In the dream, my ex husband and I were traveling in the country on a long, winding road. It was not unusual for us to take long, leisurely drives in the country just to look at the scenery, especially in the summer. We were on one of those drives, and as usual, my husband was in the driver's seat. We came around a curve, and there, lying in the road, was a big dinosaur looking beast. It was red and bloody, and it appeared to have had its skin peeled off. It was ugly, and on top of that, its head had been cut off from its body. The beast just lay there dead in the road. As we were fastly approaching it, I screamed, "What is it? Don't hit it." I looked over at my husband and he seemed dazed, and it was obvious that we were headed straight for impact. I grabbed the steering wheel and turned the car away from the beast. The car squeaked and swerved and spun completely around before we stopped with the car headed in the opposite direction. I then looked over at my husband, who was still in the driver's seat. He looked totally dazed, and his head was bobbing around like he had no idea what had just happened. Then the dream ended, and I woke up. I knew that the dream meant something important, so I told my husband about the dream the very next day. I even wrote it down and I kept it because I knew it meant something. It was so vivid and not like any other dream I had had. Then, later that same month on Memorial Day, God gave me the interpretation of my dream. On that day, my husband and I were both off because it was a holiday weekend and we were sleeping and we did not have to go to work. The kids were old enough to take care of themselves if they needed anything. I was just lying on the bed when I clearly heard God speak to me. He said, "The beast which you saw in your dream is the Seventh Day Adventist Church. It has fallen and it does not have a head." When I heard the voice, I jumped straight up out of the bed and told my husband what Jesus had just said to me. I do not remember exactly what my husband said, but I repeated my message because I was 100% sure of what Jesus had said on that day. Jesus said that the Seventh Day Adventist Church has fallen and it does not have a head. Jesus is saying that he is not the head of the Seventh Day Adventist Church. This message about the Seventh Day Adventist Church being fallen was first told to me in 1994. And since then, he has shown me in numerous other ways that what he told me then is still true today. The purpose of this video is not to offend anyone. Its purpose is just to share this dream and what God has shown me about this church. Now, you may ask me, who are you to have been told such critical information about the SDA church? I will at least tell you this: Jesus has told me that I am a prophetess of God and that I am from the 12 tribes of Israel. He has also told me that I am the Revelation 12 woman clothed with the sun, wearing a crown of 12 stars. I have been given many prophecies that are just now coming to fulfillment because it is now their time for fulfillment. And because of this, many Seventh day Adventists will not be able to recognize these prophecies because of their past wrong application of biblical scripture text. That is all I will say about me for the time being and in this video. Even so, I still have many family members and friends who are still in this beast system. And yes, the Seventh day Adventist Church is a beast system in the eyes of Jesus. Jesus says that he is not the head of that system. So who is? You do not have long to find out, and all believers in him need to take this message very seriously and take the appropriate actions very soon. I am available if you have any questions or comments, so feel free to contact me. Shalom. Until next time.